Mike Dero, Naples, Florida here, trying to help you with your golf game. You've probably heard it. You're supposed to make a divot after the ball. So the phrase is, hit ball then bottom. Some players can do it better than others. Let me see if I can help you and let you understand it more than anything. Okay, first of all, the pros take a divot. The bottom of their apex is generally about 4 inches in front of the ball. Low handicappers is about 2 inches in front of the ball. When I say in front of the ball, what I mean is this. That is, the arc is going up, coming down, hits the ball, then goes down, down. That's the angle of descent, and then of course it starts back up again. Where your club is going to hit bottom is under your chest and under your lead hand, okay, because that's the lowest point. So arcs always go up, arcs always come down, they all have a bottom, and then they go up. Even if you miss the ball, your arc had a bottom, it just happened to be above the ball. Okay, so the good players descend on the ball now 3 to 5 degrees on their lower irons. Let's say they're higher irons, the wedges, 9s, 8s, 7s. How do they do that? It's simply ball position, let's say middle. Some players put a little back, a little forward, but it's in the middle. They swing back, they get their shoulder either to the ball or a little behind the ball. What I do is I get my shoulder a little behind the ball, then I move my lower body. I'm sliding my lower body, my belt buckle moves way over to 4 inches in front of the ball. My hands follow my lower body. My hands get 4 to 5 inches in front of the ball. And as my lower body moves, it will draw my chest and my nose. Okay, you may have heard keep your head behind the ball. There's no way you can make a divot in front of the ball if you're behind the ball. I like to tell people, when you're hitting a shorter iron, when you get to the ball, the only thing you'll have behind the ball might be the end of your right shoulder and the bottom of your right leg. Everything else will be at the ball or in front of the ball. Okay, so here's a shot. I'm going to hit a 7-iron. I should make a divot of some sort in front of the ball. Okay, so I take it back and I take it through. Okay, and you go, Mike, you didn't make a divot. Well, it is so true, I didn't. So I'm going to take another one. I'm going to make a divot on this one. There's a divot in front of the ball. There it is. Now, a couple different types of divot. Some players go for a bacon strip. It's a tiny little divot, skinny, about 3 inches long. It's nice. You didn't hurt your hands. You didn't take this giant pelt. Some players take giant divots. Why? They move themselves way out in front of the ball. Look where I am. I'm way over here. Their hands are way out in front, and they get these things. And they get giant divots. It might come out as a 10-inch piece of sod. Okay? Eventually, that's going to rip up the golf course and your wrist might hurt. I don't recommend it unless you're a powerful player. What I would recommend is that you find a height that's good, a tilt, 20, 30 degrees, hang your arms, and find a swing that can find bottom. But if you want to be a good player, you need to skim the ground the same every time. Now, there are clean picker people, and Tom Watson can hit 100 balls out making a divot. So how do they do it? They get behind the ball. There's my shoulder a little behind the ball again. They move the other way, and when they hit, their nose and their chest are right on the ball. So the bottom of their arc will be right at this blue line, and they get good at it. They go pick, and so every time they swing, they just go skim. It's a little tiny nip. I've heard it called strike the match. You're just kind of going zit. It's kind of good because you can do that same shot on pine straw or if you're on cart path. Okay? But the trouble is, or why the best players in the world don't use that method, is it's tricky. If you come up a little, you hit it thin, and the good players don't like to hit it thin. By the way, I like to say they like to hit it on the 4 line of their club. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 scoring lines. To get that, it's easier to do that if you put your hands in front, because your club is still coming down a little bit, so you have some room for air. There's a couple other reasons. Watch what my 7-iron looks like when I put my hands in front. It now looks like a 5-iron, so your 7 goes as far as a 5. And you don't have to swing as hard because you've de-lofted it. Now, a lot of people think the ball will go low, but if you get it on the 4 line, because your club is going in the ground, it'll have a lot of lift, and they'll actually go quite high. Okay, you may have heard hit down in the ball. That usually creates a swing where players go like this, and they try to hit down. It's probably a bad thought. What you want to know is arc, skim the bottom, and arc. Okay, so whether your arc is a wide one, like that, or whatever, but you want to find your arc skimmer. Okay, the other question someone came up with is, do you hit ball bottom on a driver? And I say no, and why that is the ball is way out by my armpit. I do go back, my stance is a little wider on my driver, so when I go back, look how far I am behind my driver. So when I move the other way and hit, my nose is probably almost on the ball, but it's not going to be way in front. And so most players in the tour hit their driver at 1 degree of loft, 1 degree of descending blow, or pretty flat basically. But as your swing speed gets slower, it's better to catch it on the way up. So the ladies on the tour and players that only get less than 100 miles an hour, they get the maximum distance when they hit it on a 2 or 3 degree ascending or lifting shot. It just gets the ball flying better, and there's less spin. Okay, when you hit down on a ball, you get a lot of spin. So driver, it's way out by my left armpit. I swing way back. I catch it on the way up, but I don't want to stay back. Okay, so I catch it on the way up. There it is, and then you still try to get over to your left side. Okay, the big question is hybrids. It's right in between, right? It's called a hybrid. It's between an iron and a wood. Well, you've probably seen your friends that put the ball in the middle and they hit down on a hybrid. Boom, and they make a divot with a hybrid. Kind of strong downward. I don't like it because your club gets stuck, but it can be done. It'll kind of skim out of there, but at least it'll hit hard. What I'd recommend is I'd put the ball not middle, not armpit, right about left cheek area, and learn how to sweep it. So it goes, and so what'll it be? Will it be ball bottom? Yes, barely. So it's kind of like ball bottom at the same time, but still the better players will be ball, then bottom about an inch or two in front of the ball. Not 4 inches anymore. And you'd say, well, why not? Well, the ball position changed a little. So they swing forward and they catch it. And a good word again is you want your club to come in there and strike the match or zip the ground or nip it. Boom. So if you can get that, that's when you're confident. When you can stand up to a shot and go, you say there's not even a ball there, but I know I'm going to nip the carpet. And you go, and you know that your swing is going to work. If you've always hated your 3-wood, it's probably because you can't nip the carpet the way you should. But anyway, work on these swings. Understand that bottom is one of the most important things in golf. Can your brain and your body make a move where the club will hit bottom without you fearing it and being afraid of bottom? See, a lot of players that go down, now my head is so far down that their arms are afraid of going like this, and they're going to hurt. So then they pull up. Okay, I know that's an over-exaggeration, but you want to be the player that says, my arms come down and they touch. Okay, it looks fluid. Try to be that fluid golfer. Good luck to you.